Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are from group 3 want to present about API testing, which is Metamorph API testing. So first of all, my name is Ahmad Syafiq Syami bin Ahmad Mazhar. Today my turn is Metamorph API testing, which Postman. So I'm using our website. So first we go to get system ping. So for the first test, I use the get system ping endpoint to verify whether the Metamorph server was available and running. The server returned a 200 OK status with a status value of OK. This confirms that the API server is active and accessible. So next to the next method is post login. So next I test the login functionality using the post login endpoint. I submit a valid user credential and receive a 200 OK response together with a authentication token. So this token is required to access protected API endpoint. So we go to next method, which is get current user. So this test receive information. The test receive information about the currently authenticated user. The API successful return as the user detail such as username and email address with a 200 OK response. So next is get invalid endpoint method. So for this test, I intentional use an invalid API endpoint. The server return a 404 not found response, which show that the API correctly handles request to non-existent endpoint. So for next is we have get all user method. So this test retrieve a list of user from the Metamorph system. The API successful return user records and respond with a 200 OK status. So next is get search user method. This endpoint is used to search for user based on a keyword. The API successful return matching user information and respond with a 200 OK status. So the next one is post user no result method. I submit the search query that produce not matching result. The API still return a 200 OK response but provide an empty result set. This show that the API can handle search which no match correctly. So we go to post create channel. So for this method, I attempt to create a new channel. However, the server returned a 403 foreign response because the account did not have sufficient permission. The demonstrate that the API enforce access control and user permission. The next one is put update user method. So this test update user profile information. I change the user first name to Ahmad and the API return a 200 OK response. This confirm that user information can be updated successfully. So we go to put update user error method. In this test, I submit an invalid username value. The server return a 400 back request response because the username did not meet the required validation rules. This demonstrates that the API validate user input before processing request. So for this test, I attempt to delete a channel using an invalid channel ID. The API return a 404 not found response because the specific channel could not be located. Okay, for the last one is the delete item delete error case. So in this test, I attempt to delete a channel that does not exist in the system. The API return a 404 not found response, which confirm that the system prevent deletion of non-existing resources. In conclusion, a total of 12 API tests were performed using Postman. 6 tests were successfully, with 6 tests focused on error handling and validation. The results show the Metamorph API function correctly, enforce user permission, validate input data, and handle invalid requests appropriately.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Radif. My part is Selenium. For the first method is setup. I use the Chrome web driver. Next method is get. When we run this project, the Python will navigate to the browser. Next method is post. The Python will insert text in fields into the field. And the next method is click. Python will click the button in the website. Next method is post. This method is to detect the error handling. The last one is driver mode. So Python will clean up or terminate this browser. So that's all for me. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Shafiq Firdaus bin Masukri. Today, I will present our performance testing result on MetaMask API using Apache JMeter. So, first of all, our test configuration uses 100 threads and 10 seconds ramp-up period, and also 5 loops. This gives us exactly 1,500 total samples across 3 endpoints. So, as you can see at this test plan, we have 3 samplers, which is get all themes, and then get search filtering, and lastly post send message. This will give exactly 1,500 total samples across 3 endpoints. So this is aggregate report. For concurrent data delivery, get all teams recorded 500 samples with non-zero throughput of 7 requests per second. Average response time is 3,960 milliseconds. For heavy character search schemas filtering, get search filtering recorded 500 samples under intense parallel throughput with average response 3,617 milliseconds. For mass creation handling, post send message recorded 500 samples simulating parallel message creation with average response time of 3,136 milliseconds. So all total sample is 1,500 samples were successfully executed. Average response time is 3,571 milliseconds. The minimum is 291 milliseconds, and the maximum is 22,522 milliseconds. Also, the error rate is 0%. In conclusion, our test successfully evaluated average, minimum, maximum response time, and system error rate. With 100 concurrent threads and 0% error rate, the MetaMask API proved to be stable and reliable under load testing condition.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Hazi. This is my API mobile testing demo for software verification and validation. I'm testing the MetaMask mobile app with 4 test cases. First is app boot validation. Second is react to message. Third, edit message. And lastly, delete message. So first thing first, here is my test environment. My script to run the whole testing, MetaMask.py, and then config.json for the fill up things. Okay. So let's start with the, now we need to check the ADB device and make sure. Okay. So the emulator is connected. Okay. Okay, now we can run the APM. So if you see like this, it's already running. So now we need to run the turn maintenance of py, which is our script. So now let's focus on the visual. So phase one is launch the app and login. So it will automatically fill the input. Okay, now connect, then press enter. Okay, now it will add login script. Okay, click login, then press enter. So for the next phase is to open the channel, which is topic channel. Next for the execute test. For the first test, we test to rate the message that we sent. Okay, for the first test, it's pass. So now for the edit test, okay, long press, and now edit test and save. So basically for me, it will be like that. And so the testing is passed for the all of the tests. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So this is our last testing tools. It is we use mostly the execution pipeline. This configuration represents the setup task description, establish the design flow for task execution. First, user need to launch our SPZ. So that select automated scan, and then input the URL, which is we use community.metamouse.com. Then click the attack button. After that, the software will execute. Then we can review the result by set the alert tab of phase 2. Now we will simulate how the OSP is running. So for the first, we click the automated scan, then put the URL. After that, click attack. Since this spider will run, this active scan actually scan all the URL that I have at the main URL. So after that, the alert tab will appear. And as you can see, the alert result now is 12. We have yellow color, orange color, yellow color, and blue color. The means of that color is diagnostic framework, vulnerabilities and data metric. The red color is high, which is expected systemic failure or immediate exploitation risk regarding urgent remediation. Orange color is medium, significant loss that could be changed or exploited under specific condition. Yellow color is low that represent minor misconfiguration or best practice deviation with limited direct impact. The blue one is informational, which is the system behavior or disclosure noted for visibility, not immediate threat. Thank you.